Get outside in Pepin County. Pack up the family and visit the childhood home of Laura Ingalls Wilder. Sail on Lake Pepin. Bike the Chippewa River State Trail. Hike up Maiden Rock and throw a line in a trout stream. Sign up to win a vacation at visitpepincounty.com. On the 300th episode of La Crosse Loco, we talk with Jackie and Aaron, board members of Midwest Music Fest. We talk origins, what people can expect from the multi-venue 2-day festival in La Crosse, venue hopping while finding your new favorite band, and some hosts and guest picks to check out during the festival. You can find more conversations, food reviews, live music, and events on our website, lacrosselocal.com. I'm Amy.
And I'm Brent.
And this is La Crosse Local.
My name is Jackie Marcoux. I was born and raised here in La Crosse. I'm the co-chair of the Midwest Music Fest board. I've been on the board for about 4 years now. What led me to the fest was really the unique style of the fest and finding out and experiencing and discovering new bands that you've never heard of, and kind of taking a risk and just going to a fest and finding your new band. And Parker, our past ED, we became friends. And he asked me to be on the board, and I've loved every second of it and feel really grateful to be part of the organization.
My name is Aaron Kepke. I was born in El Dorado, Wisconsin, a tiny, tiny town no one's ever heard of on the east side of the state. I've lived in La Crosse with my family since 2009. I got interested in the fest because I wanted to find a way to I'm an executive board member, and I wanted to give back to the community and provide a forum for artists to share their craft and their creations. And I'm a big believer that art makes our communities better. So I'm really excited to be a part of the festival. It's my first year on the board, and we've got some great things lined up.
Midwest Music Fest is back for 2 days, September 16th through the 17th. What does it feel like kind of bringing this event back together to its true sort of original format? And maybe Jackie, could kind of talk to that.
Bringing it back, I think, is just it's amazing. I feel like we rode out COVID. Parker Frostell and Abby Lee really pivoted big time during COVID. We had a Midwest at Home fest during COVID, and then a different type of fest, 1-day fest in Winona last year. And it feels really great to get back into these small venues and have music and art and have community, because that's the mission of the fest, is to bring folks together and encourage people to come downtown. So we're really excited. The Winona Fest in April was amazing. I know you were there, Brent. We had a great time, and it felt really great. I think we rode that high for a really long time, and it felt really good to be back. And our new director, Dylan, has just been knocking out of the park. So we're really very fortunate to be able to bring it back to its original form.
And Aaron, how has this process been for you, kind of jumping into it?
Yeah, it's been great. I would say that as an organization, everyone contributes, everyone is active. They're really dedicated to making sure that we're helping artists. We're providing a really unique opportunity for the residents of the city of La Crosse. And it's also not lost on us that now, kind of being sort of post-COVID, we sort of feel like it's a little bit of our responsibility to help out some of these local businesses. So we're super fortunate to have some great venues lined up, and we couldn't be happier to help them as they help us, with providing the space to have artists, share all the great music that they're going to share with us.
I was down there for Winona for 2 nights, and, it was just such an experience to get back into that multi-day festival, plus all the different activities that are going on. And it seems like Midwest Music always has to adapt with the weather, but it almost makes it in some ways more fun. And hopefully we don't have to do that for the September event. For someone who hasn't been down to Midwest Music, or it's been, like a global pandemic for the last 3 years, what can people expect from this festival in September in La Crosse?
Yeah, sure. So it's a multi-day, multi-venue festival. So we'll have bands on Friday the 16th and Saturday the 17th. We have some fantastic venues lined up downtown, places that people are familiar with: the Charmont, the Grounded patio outdoors, of course, Riverside Park. That's going to feature our main stage. The Root Note right on 4th Street. So some places people are familiar with, and it's a fantastic experience. I know some folks might be familiar with festivals like South by Southwest in Austin, but it's very much that format where you're able to bounce around to different venues, see different bands. A couple other places I should mention: Maine. People can see music there. They can see music at the newly renovated Popcorn Tavern, which is a nice space to continue to have in La Crosse. So for those folks in town, it's a chance to check out new music in places that you're familiar with. And for anybody visiting our community from outside of La Crosse, maybe a nice opportunity to get to know our fair city a little bit better.
One funny comment, I was involved in Midwest Music, also a board member for a few years there. I always thought it was really interesting. I don't know if it was interesting or funny, but you'd always see people, we release the lineup of the different bands and instantly there'd be a comment about, I don't know any of these people.
Always.
So, I mean, I know what I tell people, like, cause I love it. I've been attending Mile of Music, which is in Appleton, Midwest Music since probably, it started earlier. I found the band Coyote Kid in Mile of Madison, who actually kind of transformed into the band Dury. Who just played this past Midwest Music in Winona. So, I mean, it's like all these kind of regional bands where I've, really kind of found opportunities to really dig into bands that live within 60 to 90 miles of me. What do you tell people for stuff like that just are usually used to the mainstream sort of tunes?
Yeah, we definitely have to work harder to attract people. I think if you get it, you get it. And we kind of have to really market it. And I just tell folks stories about how, like what you just said, Brent, how I found some of my favorite bands at Midwest Music Fest. And there's something very special about going to a fest and kind of wandering around the small venues in and out as the sun goes down. And especially, I remember one time in the Root Note, there was just this great big dance party that just spontaneously combusted, and it was amazing. And it's just really, truly special. And I would really encourage folks to come down and check the fest out.
Another, I just want to talk about it because I got to interview them as well, is the band Gold. I think that's one of those experiences which I saw them at the Root Note, the former Root Note, and in all its glory. And that band I never knew anything about, just got invited to that show, and I was just blown away by the stage performance and just like getting crowd interaction. It's kind of like just hungry for it.
Yeah, totally. We were listening to them last night. And I think too, like sometimes I'll let people know, like, this is kind of where bands start. And then a year or two later, they blow up. So it's really like a sneak peek into the beginnings of some bands.
Oh, yeah. Well, who the heck was the biggest band that's blown up?
Lizzo,
of course. Lizzo played, when was that, 2016 or something?
Oh, we should know that. But I don't,
that sounds right.
But that's one that we tote a lot. Like, Lizzo.
Yeah. Can you just imagine going to one of these shows in these small venues of 75 people and getting to see Lizzo and just be able to say that in the future is pretty amazing.
Yep.
And this year, we have S. Carey coming and Field Report and some old favorites, Dead Horses, which I'm really excited. J.E. Sundays coming back. And it's such an eclectic group of musicians, and we're just really happy to host them.
That is kind of a good point, Jackie. Like, there is something for everybody, right? If you're into punk, we've got bands that can do that. If you're into singer-songwriter stuff, some alternative, we've got a lot of different flavors for everybody. So if you're not a fan of some of those genres, it's maybe a good chance to come check it out and try it on.
And also I thought was really cool, which has been a part of Midwest Music for a while, is also you guys still have the app, of course.
Yes, we have the app. The app is, what the feedback we got from Winona was that it was pretty great. Live updates, venue maps. It was great. We used it. And it was fantastic. And we got a lot of great feedback. So yeah, you can just go to the app store and just look up Midwest Music Fest and download the app, and you have the lineup. You can buy tickets. You can do all of the things from the app. So
great way to stay connected with the fest for sure.
And we still have the little maps too. And the little guide, which I really love those too. So we have both.
Yeah, I like to go back into the app and see what shows I attended, just so I could further check out those different bands, because you end up seeing 6 to 8 bands in a day. It kind of gets a little blurred of who is what.
Right.
So what bands are you excited for, or entertainment? Is there anything that sticks out that you can you pick just one?
Sure. I mean, of course, I'm excited to see the headliners, S. Carey and Field Report. Those are the big names and the big draws. I've never seen them, so I'm really pumped about that. The band I think I'm the most excited to see again is the Immaculate Beings. They're a Minneapolis band. They played at our one-day Winona Festival back in 2021. And for me, they were the highlight of the show. They've got horns, they've got just a banging percussion section, stage presence, and they feel like a family unit up there. I was blown away. So I'm really stoked to see them again.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Immaculate Beings that was a really special show. I'm really excited to see S. Carey. He just had a new album come out and it's just beautiful. So I'm excited to see that down at the main stage at Riverside. The sun's going down by the river. I think that will be super rad. Field Report, I'm excited to see. Dead Horses is one of my favorites. Bad Hats played in Winona and they were playing, I don't know if you were there, Brent, but they were playing when like it was raining sideways. And they were amazing. They were such troopers and I can't wait to see them again. I'm hoping it's not raining though this time.
Just the number of bands from this region, Minneapolis, Milwaukee. I assume you have some from down in Nashville, it looks like too. But I mean, even locally, you got Sweat Boys, Porcupine. Porcupine's a big favorite of mine, known that since, I've been probably 13 years old, in different variations. Toaster Ghost, The Worst, Tug, Knee High July's, Cass Magpie, just some awesome local original entertainers that are pumped for as well. So it'll be
Mike Munson. I'm really excited to see Mike again. Luke Callan is a local favorite. Yeah, there's just
they always do such a great job.
Yeah, we're really lucky.
So what's the best avenue for people to follow along? Social medias, website?
Yeah, all the social medias on the Facebooks, the Twitters, the Instagrams, all those things on the internet. The website is a good place to go as well. And then I would also, again, plug the app. The app was really helpful as we get closer to the fest. If there's been lineup changes or any kind of last minute venue updates, that's a really good place for people to stay connected to figure out, oh, this band had to move from the 7 to 9 o'clock slot. And they're not going to be at the Root Note. They're going to be at the Warehouse or something like that. So that's a really good way to stay connected up closer to the fest.
Yeah, Facebook, Instagram, we're on there.
We're hoping for perfect weather, right? We're
fingers crossed.
One time would be nice. It definitely adds to the charm and the Midwest grit, I think for sure, when there's been snow and rain and storms. But yeah, it would be nice to just have one nice sunny weekend.
Dude, cool. rain or shine, you're going to see some great music.
Yeah,
it's going to rock.
Lacrosse Local Podcast is a production of River Travel Media. Do you have an interview idea you'd like to share with us? Message us on Facebook at Lacrosse Local. Find out more about us at lacrosselocal.com, and you can subscribe to the Lacrosse Local Podcast on your favorite podcast app. If you like us, rate us 5 stars. We appreciate it.